It's Sunday morning with Mark Sainsbury.
Joining me now, Dr. Harold Hillman, another of my regulars here on Radio Live on Sunday mornings. And Harold, we're talking about emotional intelligence.
That's right.
What on earth is emotional intelligence?
Well, you might think of it as how you are versus what we think about with IQ. With IQ, we're thinking more about what you know. But EQ, if you think about a standard sheet of notepaper with lines on it, you would think of IQ as loading on the lines. It's the knowledge and information and facts that we've accumulated in life that just make us more intelligent. EQ you might think of as between the lines. It's more intuitive, so it's more of a feeling, a sense of what's needed here in the moment.
But it used to be you're looking at, say, prospective employees or assessing your staff. IQ was the thing everyone focused on.
That's right.
Why are we now looking at EQ?
It makes a difference. It does make a difference. 2 decades ago, managers were evaluated more on sort of their technical knowledge. But these days, managers are now being appraised more on not only what they know, but how they are, because that sense of being able to make connections with people, build a better sense of team, influence customers more, it's important now in the realm of business.
Is it just a measure of how nice you are?
It's more than nice. There's a component about that. So there is a certain poise and there is a certain what you would call sophistication associated with emotional intelligence. But rather than thinking about it as nice, Mark, you might want to think about it more as making yourself more compelling. So there's some people who can lead because they have positional power. But in the absence of positional power, how do you influence people? And there's the sense now that you can do that more by connecting with people.
Can you alter? I mean, you're born, your IQ you're born with.
That's right.
But can you increase or alter your EQ?
You can. IQ is more fixed. You're absolutely right. The foundation of EQ is self-awareness, and a person really can improve his or her self-awareness. Self-awareness is just simply a tighter connection between how I'm thinking and how I'm feeling. Women tend to be more adept at balancing IQ and EQ because as little girls and as they grow into women, they're just more in touch with their emotions and their feelings, which means that they can empathize more than men generally do.
You're sounding like one of those self-help videos, Harold, you know, getting in touch with your feminine side.
That's right. It's just more of, I think what leadership these days requires is more of a balance.
But how much of this, because you could suspect, look, this is just something made up by these sort of highfalutin consultants like yourself to drum up more business. We've invented EQ. It's real, though.
It's real. It is real. And if you think about it, that sense of personal connection with another individual is really what sits under your ability to influence people. And if you aren't able to make a good sort of emotive connection where people really do trust you more, they're willing to put themselves in your hands more, you've got to make more than a logical connection. And that's really what EQ is emphasizing. It's making more of a logical and an emotive connection.
So if you've got bad EQ, could your job be at risk? Do you need EQ to function in business?
I would say your job is at risk. More and more companies now, again, are beginning to appraise people on the how component of their role, not just the what, but the how. And these are largely tied to the company's values. And so a lot of companies want you to be respectful to each other and those types of things.
How do you measure it?
It's harder to measure. We have more formal tools to measure IQ. With EQ, there are fewer tools out there. There are some surveys that allow you to get feedback from other people, but it's far more variable, so it's harder to put your hand on. But you sort of know a person with high EQ because you're immediately drawn to that person. There's a sense of them being more compelling.
Are there standard warning signs of people who don't have good EQ? What would you be looking for?
Yeah, you'd be looking for somebody who probably does have a self-awareness gap. And you know, they mean well, they have good intentions, but they tend to stumble and fumble in interpersonal relationships. They think they're more effective than everybody else thinks they are. So the way to really correct for that is feedback. And that's if a person is trying to raise his or her EQ, the one thing that they have to be willing to hear is feedback from other people.
Harold, is there a danger we're just going to analyse ourselves to death? We analyse everything to do with business. There's this, and this means this, and that means that. And come on, why don't just get on with the job?
Mark, you're absolutely right. There is a concern sometimes that we can get overly formulaic, this tool, that formula, these types of things. What I would say is that all of this should remain sort of background, and that the person's real sense of influence comes from who they are, sort of inside. So EQ, you don't necessarily try too hard with this. You don't want to overthink it. It's just a matter of just being more aware of the impact of how you are on other people.
If companies were deciding they're going to audit their EQ or have a look at how that's fitting in their organisation, why would they do that? What would have happened that would make a company rethink emotional intelligence?
Well, they may be losing very good, capable, talented people. That's one of the things you want to get concerned about. Talented people have options. They have choices, and they're not going to work in environments that don't really affirm or validate them, not just in terms of sort of the intellect, but creating an environment where people can be themselves, where they can be authentic. All of that has to do with authenticity, and it does make a difference to the bottom line of the organization.
Is it relatively new? Has this been around for a while, or has it suddenly come more into focus in recent years?
There was a seminal book called Emotional Intelligence by Daniel Goleman about 2 decades ago. It was written about. I would say over the last 10 years or so, there's been significantly more traction, and that is companies are just aware now that leaders who lack EQ probably put the organization more at risk, both in terms of good people leaving, but also in terms of customer relationships and interface with the community. Low EQ can bring a person and a business down.
Well, Harold Hillman, thank you for a very emotionally intelligent contribution to Sunday mornings. Don't forget you can find Harold on www.sigmoidcurve.com.
That's right, Mark.
.com. And we'll talk to you. I can't wait to see what you come up with next week, Harold. Thank you so much for joining us here on Radio Live.
Thank you, Mark.